Hello, is this Jake Ellenberger?
Yes.
Oh, hey Jake, thanks for calling. I'm Steve from MMAmania.com, and your manager set up an interview today. Are you good for about 20,
Yeah.
25 minutes?
Sure. I got about 20, yeah.
All right, great. First things first, how is your training going for the fight with Kelvin Gastelum?
So really well. Yeah, everything's going really well. Just staying fresh, staying sharp in the mind, and getting ready to leave for Mexico. So
You're out in California now, right?
I am.
That's an irony, because I'm actually based in Omaha, so.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I'm from Omaha.
Oh, what a small world.
Yeah, no doubt. In fact, I saw you on the Diego Sanchez fight when they had the UFC fight night here.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that was a great show.
Yeah, it was one of the loudest reactions I've ever heard from a crowd.
I know. It was crazy. They were really kind of blown away by the response. There really wasn't that many people, but it sounded like there was 100,000 people there. It was insane.
Yeah, the volume was definitely up there. I know Kelvin Gastelum is going to be a tough opponent for you as well, and it's an interesting ranking fight right now because you're number 8 and he's number 11, so it seems like it could really shake up the welterweight division in a big way.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when you're really in the top 15 or top 10, even, it's always, every fight's very important. Myself personally, I don't pay a lot of attention to ranking, because it really is just a number. If you're not number one, you're not the champ. So really, all the other numbers are kind of irrelevant to me. But it's all about just being consistent. So for me, I like the matchup a lot. He's a tough kid, but I'm more than ready to go in there and dominate.
I'm sure there are things that you're training for that'll make you able to neutralize whatever advantages you think he has.
Yeah, exactly. I like guys that move forward. He's a wrestler. It makes it fun. It makes it creative. Keep me on my toes. Great, absolutely. The matchups is great.
Yeah. Well, you're both wrestlers, so you've got great wrestling takedowns as well. So sometimes when you get those wrestler-style matchups, it ends up turning into a slugfest where two guys stand and bang. Do you think that's going to happen here?
I would say no. I'm not very strategic. I'm going to keep myself out of any potential danger as much as possible. But, because on the feet, I want to be much more tactical. I have a lot more movement. My vision's gotten a lot better. I see things better. Create a rhythm and stay in it. So I really don't. I don't ever look into just getting into a gunfight. Those days are over.
Yeah, you want to win and not have to go 3 rounds and bang it out the whole time. I can understand that. So, any concerns about the elevation? Because I know Mexico City is like a mile up. That's got to be an effect on the cardio and stamina in a fight.
Yeah, there's always a little bit of a thought. I've actually been training up in the elevation too, so it's just one of those things you got to be mentally prepared for. You're going to get tired, and that's really what it comes down to.
Is that part of the reason you're going to Mexico, is to get that final prep at elevation, or is it do you got to do some local promotion, or is it a little of both?
No, actually, I'm not going till the week of.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no, we have elevation here though. I've been training up in the mountains. Where I live, actually in California, there's this Big Bear Lake. There's a lot of good places with high elevation, so it's really just getting comfortable, My head coach is Edmund Perverti, and he's from Glendale Fight Club and GFC Fitness, which is in Glendale, and that's where that's kind of where I'm based at. I've also still train at the Grand Training Center here with Mark Munoz. He's been a wrestling coach of mine, and for some time now, so. Glendale's where I'm really been focused in. With my trainers based out of.
Yeah. How is Mark Munoz doing anyway? It's been a while since we've seen him in the octagon.
He's doing good. He's been busy. He's had to deal with a few injuries, which is unfortunate, but he's battling, man. There's nobody in the world that knows how to battle like Mark, so he's just getting things more structured, more organized, and I know he's looking forward to getting back in there. So he's just taking care of some small things that he's had to deal with, some small injuries and stuff.
Yeah, well, he's got a new 4-fight deal, so I'm sure we'll be seeing him again, if not before the end of the year, sometime early next year. So we're looking forward to his next fight. But getting back to your fights, though, you've had a couple of really tough fights going into this one with Gastelum. You know, you had the decision that you lost to Rory McDonald. You know, that was a competitive fight, but it didn't go your way. And then you had the fight with Robbie Lawler. So, how do you rate your performances in those two fights?
You know, the Rory fight was definitely disappointing. It was a very boring fight. I went back and watched it and fell asleep, I think, but it was very, just, you know, every fight, you try to just take what you can out of it and move forward. I mean, obviously if we fought again, I would fight him completely different, than I did the first time, but 20/20 hindsight, you know. So that was just more disappointing. The Robbie fight was solid. There was a lot of good things I could take out of it. I mean, in my mind, you know, I face the best guys in the world, you know, number 2 and number 3 right now in the world. So, you know, I know I can compete. I know I can compete at the biggest level. So really, you know, when it comes to the top echelon, really strategy plays a big role. All the little things, you know, being more disciplined, being on target with your weight, all the little things matter. So, you know, having been there gives me confidence. I mean, I like I said, I know I can, as long as I can compete at my optimum potential, I know I can, you know, I know I can beat anybody without a question. So, for me, I had a lot of good takeaways in those fights, and then nothing but respect to Robbie. I mean, I think he's going to be the one to dethrone Johnny Hendricks.
It's a possibility. They had a great fight the first time, so the second time it's sure to be fireworks. Going back to the Rory fight really quick, because I've noticed this when he's fought a lot of different guys, and, you know, the Tyrone Woodley fight comes to mind in particular. It just seems like he confuses people, and somehow they're not able to land a punch on him. It's almost like he leaves people standing there in front of him. What do you think it is about Rory that causes people to not be able to hit him?
You know, he's good at keeping guys fighting him at his distance. You know, that's just he's very good at that. I mean, you know, obviously his coach for this and GSP they have a lot of experience. They're very sorry, hang on one second, it's loud as hell in here.
Sure.
You know, for Rory, he's just a guy he does well at his distance. You know, he's just a hard guy to fight. I mean, he's a smart fighter, though. He's intelligent. He's not going to sit here and try to brawl with you. I mean, he's very tactical, but again, he's a very difficult guy to fight at his range.
Let's transition over to the Hang With social app, because that's something new that's come along in the last year that you're a part of and you're sponsoring and you're doing videos with. So tell everybody a little bit about Hang With and how exactly that works.
Yeah, Hang With, you know, it's basically it's a social media platform where you can broadcast videos of in the present moment. You know, that's one thing that kind of sets them apart from a lot of the other social media applications. Is you can basically follow somebody's broadcast right then and there in the moment, and you know, that's been really cool. You know, for me to be able to get to show some behind the scenes and training and just outside the gym kind of stuff. But yeah, they've really had a great team in place for you know, pushing them in the right direction. They've really had good leadership, and it's just exciting to be a part of. You know, I'm looking forward to doing more Hang With stuff, you know, leading up to the fight, and kind of just giving fans, you know, a little bit of a behind the scenes look, you know, in the present moment. So I know I've got a lot of great feedback from that. But I'm definitely excited to see the direction that the Hang With team's going. They're really got a smart leadership team behind them.
So how exactly does it work when you do a live video? Does it send out an alert to followers to let them know that you're live, or do you tweet about it and then people tune in? How does that work?
When you go to broadcast, it'll show anybody who follows you. You know, it'll give them an alert to their phone saying you're about to broadcast, and so they can just jump on and watch whatever you're broadcasting, and then check it out live. So that's really kind of the cool thing for fans or anybody to be able to watch.
Do you ever worry that when you do the live broadcast, like when you're showing people the behind the scenes of the training for your fight, you know, that's like, well, maybe I'm giving away too much here. People are seeing things that maybe I don't want other people to know.
No, you know, because we're pretty careful about that. We're never going to show any strategy, anything that's going to really, you know, and to be honest, it's really more of a personal thing. I think a lot of guys get bent out of shape about that. It's like, To me, I could care less. I mean, my opponent he could come in the gym and watch me train, do everything that I do. It's not going to matter. It's not going to really change the way I fight him. You know, I mean, it's definitely it's a skill based, skill and then that fighting spirit. You know, the skill instinct is where the fight really takes place. And but yeah, well, I mean, we don't show too much as far as, you know, I mean, I'm sure you can watch some of my past fights, see what I'm good at anyway. But, yeah, never really a big worry.
Well, yeah, it's not like they couldn't go on UFC Fight Pass and find pretty much any fight that you've ever been in. I mean, they got an incredible library on there. Do you ever catch yourself going on Fight Pass and using that to scout an opponent?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my problem is when I get on there, I waste 2 hours just watching fights, and next thing you know, it's 3 a.m, and you're like, what the hell am I doing? That's my problem.
How's your brother Joe doing? I saw him at the UFC in San Antonio.
Joey's doing well. Yeah, he's doing real well. He's he's busy. He's got 2 little girls, so he's been spending a little much time as he can with the family. But he's doing well. He's been training, getting ready for his fight here in December 13th in Phoenix. So we're pretty excited about that.
Yeah, and it was good. Yeah. Good to see him get that UFC debut, because I know that had been a long time in the works, a long time coming, and I was glad that he was able to take that fight, and it was a really close competitive fight.
Yeah, exactly. It was kind of one of those too close for comfort fights, but, you know, he had so many things he's been dealing with. It's like he's had 6 different opponents. You know, he hurt his back a week and a half before the fight, and it's like he didn't do anything for 5 days. It's a lot of frustrations, you know, leading into it, you know, into the fight. But later, bro, you know, for him, because for us, it was like, you know, do you still fight? Do you not? With the whole injury to his back, and he was kind of like, you know, I don't care, I'm fighting. Like I'm not gonna. That just kind of.
But at least the paroxysmal nocturnal hemoglobinuremia, that's
gonna bother him the rest of his life. It's one of those things you're gonna have to live with, but. You know, he deals with it. He kind of faces that like any other adversity he faces. It's head on, and obviously his health is the most important. But you know, he's healthy and been able to deal with it and still train. So,
like I said, it didn't hurt him in the fight because he was able to win the fight. So, turned out, you know, it's after all this time waiting that, you know, he's able to overcome it and work through it. And I think that's actually inspirational for a lot of people who are probably dealing with the same problem. As they see Joe is successful, they think, you know, if he can overcome, so can I.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about Joe is he's one of those guys. He'll do whatever it takes. I mean, there's not many people in the world like him, and you know, he's inspiring in a lot of ways. But especially in a sport like this, we're in the toughest sport on the planet, and when guys look for excuses to pull out or look for small reasons to not fight or whatever it may be, it's just there's nothing that's going to stop him when he wants to do something. So he's always been inspiring to basically everybody around him. You know, a lot of friends and family, even people were like, man, if I could be, you know, if you could be half the man Joe is, or have half the courage he does, you know, you're going to be a strong person. So he's been able to deal with things that a lot of people can't even fathom.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. But I want to go back to Kelvin Gastelum really quick before we wrap this up, because first, I guess to segue into the question I want to ask you about Gastelum, I assume you're on target to make 170. That's not going to be any kind of problem.
No, not at all.
Yeah, well, last time when I saw him in San Antonio, he didn't quite make it. Gastelum came in at 172 3/4. So, are you worried about him making the weight?
No. I mean, it's funny because when we were in Mexico City, we had a little press conference, and that was the big thing, Dan. It's like, you better fucking make weight. And, I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I don't care. Make weight, don't make weight. I'm still going to win. It's just, you know, I assume he's going to have things under control this time around, but we'll see. I mean, Mike Dolce's a good friend of mine, guy I've been friends for a long time, and he said he's not working with him anymore, and he said he's very undisciplined. So, but for me, it doesn't matter either way. I would rather him not make weight so I could make more money, but, you know, it doesn't matter to me that much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you're willing to fight him even if he comes in at 175 or 178. Doesn't matter to you. You'll take the fight no matter what.
He come in at 190. It's okay. Doesn't matter.
Just out of curiosity, as long as we're on the subject, who's the biggest guy that you fought, like either weight-wise or size-wise?
Biggest guy I fought was Nate Marquardt. Guy was, I mean, he was a big middleweight. He was a huge middleweight. Guy dropped, I don't know how he made welterweight, but he did, and God, it was just a monster. I mean, I'm a pretty good sized welterweight, but that guy made me look small.
Well, size didn't work out for him because you knocked him out, so.
Yeah, things went well. Yeah, I mean, anytime you change weight classes, whether it's going up or down, there's a lot of adjustments you got to make, and not something. It just takes time, you know. Especially when you got to train with guys at that weight class, you got to be able to feel comfortable. And man, it's one of the things that it takes a lot of adjustment to do, a lot more than you would think.
Do you ever think you'll go up to middleweight, or are you going to just stay at welterweight for the rest of your career?
No, I'll be at welterweight until I'm done, until I retire.
All right. Well, any final thoughts on Kelvin Gastelum before we wrap it up? Any message you want to send out to him or to the fans who are checking out this interview right now?
Yeah, there's a few people I want to thank Hang with for all their support and the great leadership team behind him. Another company, Hyper Ice, want to thank those guys too for always supporting me. Yeah, that's it.
Let's talk a little social media before I wrap it up. I know you said Hang With is a place where people can watch your live videos, so let everybody know how they can sign up for that, and if they want to follow you on Twitter and all that stuff, let them know that as well.
Sounds good. My Twitter's at Ellenberger MMA. Same thing with my Instagram, or follow me on Facebook, Jake Ellenberger. But if not, tune in to UFC 180, November 15th.
Yeah, how do they get the Hang With app though? Do they go to like the iTunes App Store, or how do you get Hang With?
Yeah, just go to the App Store and just download it. It's free.
All right, well, that's how everybody can check it out. And UFC 180 coming up November 15th in Mexico City. I know it's going to be a great fight. It's on the main pay-per-view card. Jake Ellenberger and Kelvin Gastelum. Look forward to watching it.
Great, thank you.
All right, thanks, Jake. Have a good day.
You too, man. Thanks.